This month, November 2024, marks 1 year since I went to a Champions program at the Rec Center. I remember how excited I was for November 2023 because it was a brand new month, but I was also nervous because I missed my summer adventures, and November was even further away from summer. Little did I know I was coming close to having new adventures at the Rec Center. On November 8th, Mom forwarded me an email from Mr. Casey about the Teen Travelers. I didn't end up going there last year, but I did start going there in September 2024. November was already so much better since I had something to look forward to. I used to miss my past adventures, but now I look forward to my future adventures. I went to a Champions program on November 27th, and it was so much fun. In this video, we are going to look back on the best moments at the Champions program and more Rec Center events from November 2023 to June 2024. I'm going to select one of my favorite days from each month, and we'll see which moments were my favorite. Now let's jump into it. After school, I went in the car and I listened to music. I like listening to music when I'm excited. We got to a rec center and I had to wait in line. While I was waiting, I watched a video that was being played at the front desk. This was the same rec center from this past summer, and I went to a room I'd never been to before, or at least not recently. I saw some people from the camp, such as Mr. Keith and Miss Claire, and I also saw some new people such as Miss Talia. I did some activities at the rec center and then I went swimming. My profile picture everywhere is from when I swam last time on August 8th. I was so glad to revisit the experience at the same time the picture was taken, except for the fact that the main pool was being used and we were limited to the aqua track and the playground. But that's okay because I liked the aqua track. It had been 3 months since I swam during the summer, and I got to swim there in November. It was interesting swimming at this time of year. I saw a camper from this summer, and it was Maya. Back in the main room, it was getting dark outside, and I was tired from swimming. I had forgotten how tired swimming made me, until yesterday. We made paper Christmas trees, and I brought all my projects home. I responded to some notes written by other people, and I wrote what I was thankful for and what I'm looking forward to in December. We did yoga with Adrian, and then Mom took me home. I listened to some songs in the car while viewing my surroundings. I used to look at the screen and look at the album art, but I decided to look at my surroundings instead. Mom had forgotten to bring headphones, so the phone was connected to a car player, and the music was being played in the car. I went to a rec center from Dad's office yesterday, and I saw Miss Talia, Miss Morgan, Miss Haley, Mr. Casey, and Miss Caitlin there. Miss Talia was wearing a new and Junior Venture shirt like I have at home, except it's blue instead of orange. I showed Miss Haley last week's journal, and I didn't have a book to read. I read the books that were in a box at the rec center, including Ant-Man and the Avengers. Miss Haley called Emma on FaceTime, and I got to see her and talk to her for the first time since August 10th. I was blown away, since I didn't expect to see her for the rest of the year, and now I can say I've seen her recently. I've seen lots of people 3 months later, but this time I saw Emma 4 months later. Even if Emma wasn't called, I could still say I've seen her this year until January 1st, but there's a difference between seeing someone this year and today. We played Santa Says, which is like Simon Says, but with Santa. You also move forward if you get something right, and the goal was to reach Santa. When I was Santa, I said, Santa Says subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is similar to what I said in Simon Says during summer camp. We played musical chairs, and then I wrote down what I wanted to write in this journal later. I used the bathroom and my paper disappeared. I thought I had to rewrite it, but Miss Haley found it, but it was in the trash. I still had to rewrite it since it was in the trash. Miss Haley took a picture of it, and she read it to me as I rewrote it. It was interesting hearing my thoughts from someone else's voice. We went outside to get ready for our first outing with the champions. We went in the van to drive around and look at Christmas lights. This was the first time since last summer that I was able to ride in that special vehicle and go on camp outings. There were other outings before I joined this program, but this is the first one I've been to after 4 months. I sat in the front next to Miss Caitlin, and I talked to her about a lot of things during the ride. There were other people in the back, but I didn't realize they were there since I was sitting in the front and I was looking at the scenery. We passed by a lot of places I knew, including Kempsville Elementary, where I had my summer camp, and the Greenbrier Library. I got a picture near some of the lights, and then we went back to a rec center. Dad picked me up right after this. Yesterday, I saw everyone that I saw on Monday, and I saw someone new. She's a staff helper, and her name is Cindy. I was nervous at first, since that meant I had a lot of things I could possibly show her. For a moment, I showed her last week's journal, and I also showed everyone the new journal I got on Sunday. In the journal, I wrote down stuff I want to write down in this journal later. I also showed her a For Better or For Worse comic about how Ellie and John imagined what kind of person they would marry when they were kids. The ending was funny, as John said he never got above the neck. Miss Talia played the Sonic Mania music for me, and I told Cindy about how I like hearing the tracks in order. That's the way it was being played yesterday. I also saw that Abby brought a new yearbook. I looked through it, and it was from the year 2022, which was only 2 years ago. One funny part that I saw in this yearbook was in the superlatives page, and one of them was most likely to run the yearbook and give him or herself a superlative. There is also a class of 2025, which isn't just 3 years after 2022, it was a future year at the time of reading this. We ate a snack and had to figure out what things to fill a bucket and what dips into a bucket. I also got to read a new book on that topic. It was called Buckets, Dippers, and Lids. After I was done, we played Protect the Penguin, which included balls and pins. Because of that, I thought we were bowling. After that, we did play a few rounds of bowling. We played Just Dance, and I picked the Mario song again. This video came out 12 years ago now, and last time we played this song, it came out 11 years ago. The video came out the same month we played this song for the first time, but it was way back in 2011. We played a quiz game that requires you to do some exercise to answer a question. The questions were weird, and I only saw 2 of the questions since Miss Haley decided to use a different video. The first question was, what food is illegal to eat a fork with in Georgia? And I guessed pizza because I don't normally eat it with a fork. The answer was fried chicken, which reminds me of one of my favorite songs. The second question was super weird, so I decided to watch another video. We played Guess the Movie by Emoji, and I decided to sit next to Cindy for this activity. One of the movies was Spider-Man, and that reminded me that I haven't listened to a soundtrack to Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which is a movie I watched last year. We put our stuff in the office, and we walked and talked upstairs on a track. Back downstairs, I saw Mr. Casey and Caitlin. I heard that Caitlin will be working in the main room tomorrow. I was surprised since she normally works in the office. I asked if she worked there before, and she said she has, but it had been a long time. When Dad took me home, I searched for Across the Spider-Verse soundtrack, and it took a while for me to find it since there is also the Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack, but I found it. It was released on June 2nd, 2023, and I remember watching the movie later that month. Also, not only did I replay Captain Toad Treasure Tracker last night, I replayed Breath of the Wild as well. At the rec center, I saw Cindy again. I also saw Mr. Keith, Miss Talia, Miss Claire, Mr. Casey, and I saw someone new, whose name was Grace. I showed Cindy my week 1 journal from the Champions program, and I also showed her 2 of my journal entries from last summer. I ate Doritos and chips for a snack, and I heard that this is Cindy's first time seeing Matthew, since he was absent on the first 3 days she worked there. I also heard that she will be back today, and she'll be there a lot on Fridays. I also found the answer to an unsolved mystery that has been going out throughout the course of this program. Abby says the word apple a lot, and I thought she was referring to someone I didn't know or that she wants a snack. She is actually referring to Miss Claire since she saw her take her medicine with applesauce. We did a Black History Month word search, and then we did a workout activity. I remembered the video from last summer, and we did a cool down activity from the same channel. We played Jenga while other people were playing Trouble, and Miss Talia took a picture of us with a Jenga tower, just before it fell down. We continued building, and then we walked and talked on the track. I learned that Cindy was with Miss Micah and Miss Claire in the conference room on her first day. I also heard that Cindy's summer break starts in mid-July, and she has a longer winter break until April, which is why she's there now. I also heard that there will be one more volunteer coming to a Champions program. I wonder who it'll be. Yesterday was a very special day. Not only was the countdown to a big day finally over, but I got a lot of gaming accomplishments done in one day. We got ready for the dance, and I did everything I needed to do at home, since I was going to go home very late. When we arrived at the rec center, I saw Caitlin, and I also saw Jessica from my church. I didn't expect to see her at a rec center event. After visiting the rec center to use the bathroom, we went in the van. It had been less than 3 months since we took the van to see Christmas lights, so it was amazing riding there again. I also got to sit in the front with Caitlin, just like last time. We drove for an hour, and I met some new people on the way. Some of their names were Max, Michael, and Carly. We drove out of Chesapeake, and our event was in Smithfield. When we arrived, I saw some people I knew, including Bill and Kathy. When we got in the building, I met some more new people, including Jamie and Bree. I also saw Miss Claire, and I saw her wearing a disco ball necklace. That's all the people I knew from Champions, and it was amazing seeing them on a Saturday. I ate a sandwich, and I also ate Doritos and cookies. While I was eating, I shared some weird but true facts with everyone. We got crowns at the dance, and I heard Miss Claire speak on the microphone. She told me she was going to do it, and I did not expect that. I got a photo strip of me and 2 of my friends at the dance, and then we started dancing. I occasionally took a break in another room, and I saw someone named Gina there. I had my big name comic with me, so I was able to show her where I heard that name before. Towards the end of the dance, we got some pictures with everyone there, and then I said goodnight to everyone. I heard that there's another event on Saturday, April 20th, which is called Neon Nights. We went back to a rec center, and I heard that the pool is going to be closed for the next couple of weeks. So even though I'll go to the Champions program on Monday, I won't be able to swim. I'm fine with that, since there's currently not much I can do in the water with the main pool being used by another group. We arrived at 10 p.m., and I'm normally in bed by that time. I went home with Dad, and I went to bed. I'm looking forward to telling everyone about the dance this week. I got an unexpected surprise when I got to school today. Everyone was sitting on the bleachers since Dr. Scott was making an announcement about a scavenger hunt to celebrate the last session of the year. I saw Miss Sarah there, and it's been over a week since I last saw her. I told her a joke I made up to celebrate the May semester. What do you call a man who is very sick? A German. We were split into groups, and I was in Miss Sarah's group. We took a walk on the Virginia Wesleyan campus to find some items, and it was an amazing experience. I talked to Sarah about what I did lately, and it was very hot outside. It's going to be summer after next month, so we're experiencing some summer weather right now. We also went inside some buildings, such as the grill and the movie theater, and we eventually made it back to TCA. Finally, after so much walking, we went to a lake to try to find something else, and then we made it back. We had lunch, and I showed Miss Sarah some more things before she left. This includes slide 26 of my portfolio, when I showed a picture of me and Sarah, and I talked about how I've grown my relationships to other people. We watched a movie at school, and then I went to a Champions program. I saw Robert, Miss Talia, and Mr. Micah today, and I went swimming. When I got home, I worked on a math problem with Dad's help. I got an incorrect answer, but I was very close to a correct answer. I need to finish Unit 1 of Geometry before I get my General Independent Study, so I hope to finish it soon. Today, I went to an event at a different rec center. We went to a gym there, and I saw Mr. Casey and Miss Claire there on a Saturday. I also saw Bree, who was at the dance on March 9th, so it's been 2 months. We started by playing This or That, which is basically Would You Rather. After that, we went to the kitchen to make smoothies, which was led by Miss Claire. As we were doing each activity, we got things marked off on our passport. Next, we did some stress relievers, and some of my favorites were the music piano and doing yoga with Sandra. After that, we went back to the gym and we did some fit in motion with Mr. Casey, and then we talked about a bellyaching event that's happening on June 13th. It was time to go, but I had mixed feelings about leaving because I had fun, but at the same time, I was tired. I went to a Champions program at around 2:45 today, and I saw Noah, Jess, and Miss Tracy there. I had a snack, and then we played a game. Right after my turn, Miss Claire took me to the front of a rec center where the bus was waiting. I saw Grace there, and we took the bus to a bellyaching event at the beach. It's amazing having 2 fun rec center events in 1 month. I brought my camera phone with me, and I took some pictures at the event. I saw Anne Marie there, and I also saw Jamie and Bree. I saw Bree recently, but I haven't seen Jamie since the dance on March 9th. I was hoping they would be there at the event, and my wish came true. I also saw some people from Champions, such as Robert, Maxwell, and Tracy. Just kidding! There were some people named Robert, Maxwell, and Tracy, but they were different people with the same names. We did some activities on the beach, such as Connect 4, and then I had a snack. There was a board showing all the bellyaching groups, and I was in group 2. When it was our turn, I got in the bellyack and I paddled around for a while. We also did a bellyaking race. I got an orange bag with some bellyaking stuff such as a shirt and sunglasses. I saw Jamie with the sunglasses, and she said we were twins. I also got a picture with her. I swam in the water for a while, and then it was time to go. I was very tired after having such a fun time. I also want to say that Grace works at the rec center now. I got the news from Mr. Keith a month ago, but I didn't think to write that in my journal until today. I also got a reply from Cindy tonight. I replied to her original comment 2 days ago, and I'm glad she replied back to me. I also got a comment from Pop-Up on the same video earlier today, so this was great timing. So that wraps up the bellyaching event. So that wraps up the best moments of a Champions program in 2023 through 2024. I am looking forward to having more fun adventures in November 2024 and beyond, starting with Pickleball today on November 1st. We'll see you in the next video.